That boy is a monster.
What's up, party people? Welcome to another episode of La Banda Live, hosted by your boy Jeremiah Neal, aka Jerry Monster. I know the AMAs are going on, but I had to give you guys the tea of La Banda tonight. And the biggest thing, the biggest surprise of the night, well, it wasn't really a surprise, but it's the fact that we finally got the guys and the girls in groups together. I've been asking for this for about 3 damn weeks already, and they finally did it. It's like, I feel like they listened to my request. So we're gonna hop into the 4 groups of the night. But before we do, we have to talk about the performance of the night. In my opinion, it definitely had to go to my boys, CNCO. Was it me, or did we all feel like proud viewers? Because it was like 11 months ago that they got formed on this particular show, and then they come back and they just performed. The performance was on point. I have to say, the standout in the group to me definitely has to be Richard. Like, I think he just goes off every single time I see him on stage, and I loved it. But it was just so, I felt like they finally made it. They've done so much in the past year, and it was really cool to see them like have a little homecoming. The whole audience was lit. They did a really good job, so shout out to my boy CNCO. But let's get into the group performances. The first band was a trio of unlikely people. We had Gramandi, Sofia, and Abel, and right off the bat, when I saw these 3 together, I was like, this is not gonna work because they just look like they do not go together. But boy, did they surprise me, because they actually did a really good job. I think the producers be doing this on purpose. They try to trick us to think that these people are gonna do bad in like the preview clips, and then when they get on stage, they kill it, and that's exactly what they did. They did one of my favorite songs, Follow the Leader by J.LO, and they was giving us clean vocals, they were giving us high energy, they were giving us really cool choreography. And where was I? I didn't know Gramandi rapped. Like, I feel like every single personality on the show is shining every single week and is surprising us with something new, and that really surprised me because that's gonna be an asset to the group. I didn't know he could do that, so he just got like 10 extra bounty points in my book. Sophia actually surprised me as well. I kind of felt bad because she was the only girl in the group, and I was like, she's gonna get singled out because you can clearly hear her more. Like, at least Gramandi and Abel could blend together, but you could obviously hear her voice. But she held her own on that song, and I think she did a really amazing job. The ballad was sick though, and I do agree with the judges that all 3 of their voices were really dope. It was really cool to see them like in their own lane, because especially Sophia and Abel, they have very particular styles of singing, and it was really cool to see them do that together. Out of the 2 guys, I definitely have to say Gramandi was the one that stole the show for me, but I have to give it up to Abel because I feel like Abel, his personality is shining every week. Every week he comes out with like these new dance moves. I didn't even know he could dance, and now he's keeping it up with one of the best dancers on the show. I'll say that from his first audition that I ever seen him do till now, he's probably got the MVP award of all of the contestants on the show. So band number 2 was Felix, Veronica, and Alondra. Now individually, I love all 3 of these contestants together, and I want to call them just like the passionate crew, because you can tell all 3 of them really want to be on the show. They really believed in their craft, and they really want to prove it to the world. But what's happening is they have this barrier up. It's like they're trying to fight so hard that they can't come across like with like a cool personality or favorable to the judges or to the viewers, because they're trying so hard to impress us, but they're already impressing us. Like, they don't have to cry, they don't have to freak out about everything, because they're already doing a great job. Now what happened was, in the first song, I felt like they were doing the harmonies right, they did a very good vocal performance right, but it didn't feel like a group. I felt like I was watching 3 different solo artists walk up and down the stage. They were interacting with each other, but it wasn't a group. That's why they put these contestants in groups together, is to see how their chemistry is going to be. And for me, I didn't feel like they had a really good connection. I feel when you have an individual perspective or an individual lane that you're focusing on, that's how you're gonna slip through the cracks, and the viewers are gonna be like, oh, they're forgettable, because yeah, you may have a good voice, but if you don't create a moment with the people that you're on stage with, then people are gonna be like, oh, I forgot about them and I don't remember their performance. I'm a little iffy. I love Nick Jonas, but I don't think they had the most amazing song choices tonight either. I feel like the producers were trying them with these songs. Like, Close is a good song, but is it a good song for La Banda? I'm kind of confused on that. But I definitely think that Felix definitely sold the show. I need Alondra. She is concentrating. I don't know why Mario was saying that she wasn't concentrating, but she was concentrating, but I feel like, I don't know, I think they expect her, when you come out so strong out of the gate, people have these expectations for you, so when you slip up a little bit, they think it's the end of the world, and I think she still held her own. She just wasn't the best that she's ever been. So band number 3 was Megumi, Abdiel, Fabian, and Zamir, and I have to say, you're not going to agree with me, I don't think, but this was my favorite group of the night. I feel like out of all the groups, the 4 of them actually looked like they actually get along. They were in like the similar age range, like they even dressed the same in some of the clips and stuff like that, and you could tell like they had a really good vibe together. For the toothbrush performance, I think they did a pretty good job. I'm a really big DNC fan, so I'm very critical anytime someone covers them. And early in the season, these people did K by the Ocean. I thought it was a complete hot mess. But the toothbrush performance tonight was really good. Abdiel, where is this coming from? I feel like he's finally finding his little lane. Like he's becoming this little Frank Sinatra crooner. But my boy Fabian, I already told y'all he reminds me of like the Hispanic Joe Jonas. And I think he killed it as well. Megumi, I love her. She's one of my favorite girls, but lately she cannot sing on key for some reason. It is mostly in the ad-libs. It's not necessarily her main vocals, but her ad-libs, she's just always off. If you're going to choose to do ad-libs, make sure it complements the rest of the group. Don't just be shouting over everybody else because it becomes a distraction and then people are going to single you out, and that's exactly what the judges did tonight. But you know, I think they did a very good job together, and that's what it's about. The group exercises were to bond together and give a good presentation together, and I think they did good with Toothbrush. The other song, this ballad, guys, I don't care what the judges were saying, that was my favorite performance of the night, and I think it was just because of the passion that they were conveying. Even the looks, it was very clean, the white, the black, the mic stands, everything. Like you can tell they really rehearsed together and they wanted to give us a moment. And lastly, the final band of the night. It was the most random, I wouldn't say random, I think they had the more drastic personality. So we had Brian, who's like the soft-spoken, like, ballad singer, and then we had Chris Vonnie, who clearly is, you know, like the cool kid. They call him like the usher. Then we had Tashmara, and then we had Denelli. Now the four of them together, I was like, ooh, because they have two of the, I wouldn't say they're weaker singers, but their voices are very distinct and like small. And then Chris and Brian, I didn't know what worked together. Now my thing was, Brian kind of messed up my whole perspective of the show because I didn't think he was going to be in this group, and then after tonight, I heard him sing tonight, and I was like, oh, he's going to be in the band because he killed it. He was the most consistent, and I didn't know he could rap either. When they did Work From Home, I was like, hey, he's doing the Ty Dolla $ign's rap. Speaking of the Work From Home performance, I loved it. I would agree with Laura that it was the Adoro moment of the night. I just think that they all should have prepared a little bit more vocally, but I know it's hard to sing and dance at the same time. But I don't care. I just love the staging. I love the dancing. I love how they each four had their own lane. Tashmara is sitting in splits, and then we had the workout gear. Like everything about it, like that's the type of performance I would want to watch. They were making sure that you were entertained. But Chris, he's kind of slipping. I think he needs to step it up a little bit. I think he might be getting a little too comfortable in the competition. And I have to say, Tashmara, she is standing out to me because she's finally finding her lane. Like I think people always try to compare her with the bigger voices of the competition, and she's realizing like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do me. And that's sort of working out for her. It actually worked out for her tonight. She was a little shaky vocally with the ad-libs and Work From Home, but for the most part, I feel like her image, her punch, her tenacity is something that's needed for the groups. But they were my second favorite group of the night. Now we need to get to these eliminations. I was very surprised at the bottom four. I'm not gonna lie. I voted for 3 out of the people that were in the bottom 4, and I thought that they were gonna rank higher than what they did, but they got saved. Now it was between Megumi and it was between Sofia. And I told y'all last week that Sofia was gonna go home, and she did. I kind of feel bad because she started taking the notes that the judges were saying, and she had an amazing week this week. And then you have someone like Megumi who kind of started off really strong and she's slowly declining. I don't know if I'm happy with the decision tonight, and I love Megumi, don't get me wrong. In the first episode of this, I said that she was going to be in the group, but I feel like if you're looking at consistency and what you bring to the stage, I feel like she's been slacking a little bit. She hasn't had the best critiques from the judges, so how you gonna tell her that she's doing bad every week and then save her? I don't know. But my girl Sofia, she went out with class. She has had nothing but stellar performances lately, so I think that's the best way. If you're gonna leave a show, at least go out with a bang. Always having good performance, always having really good critiques, and I think she's gonna have a really good career out of this. But what did y'all think about this elimination? What did y'all think about the bottom 4? Like Gormandi, did you really think he deserved to get like the least amount of votes for the boys? Like I think that he was one of the strongest contestants last week. So y'all better start voting for these people, or else I'm gonna get real mad next week when they start sending some of my favorites home. Favorite performances of the night definitely goes to group 3, and I think my strongest boy would definitely be Brian tonight. I think he did a very good job. My strongest girl probably would have to go to Tashmara tonight. I think she did an amazing job. Make sure if y'all like this video, y'all subscribe, you comment below, you share this with everyone that loves La Banda just like me. And until next week, I will see y'all later. Bye guys.